Would you still compete? Yes. I mean, I would. Listen. The story's not over, okay? It's just a pause right now because everything's done. Sentinels is done. They're not playing until franchising. If they're even in franchising. Fingers crossed that they are, right? And if they're in, and they still want to play with me, and we can figure something out together, it could still happen. It probably will. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just say maybe. Your Twitter says you're a player for Sentinels. Does it, actually? Someone else changed that for me. I definitely did not change that. At first, I thought, okay, this is going to sound crazy, but at first, I thought the guard was, like, not that sick because we brought them to such a close match in our first matchup. But then the more they played, the more I realized that was just first game jitters for everybody. For us and for the guard. Because the more we watch them play, the better they look. Are you happy with your performance? Yeah, actually. Like, obviously, like, the best results would have been win, for sure. But regardless, I didn't know what to expect. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. For my personal performance. I didn't fuck up very much. The only thing that... Yeah, no, I honestly, like when I replay and I rewatch everything in my head... and I rewatched the games, like, I didn't really fuck up. I fucked up maybe a couple things here and there, because everybody fucks up, for sure. But I didn't, like, there wasn't, like, a huge amount of mistakes, so I'm happy about that. I'm happy that there wasn't a huge amount of mistakes. The bomb incident, dude, we don't talk about that. The first matchup, we don't talk about. God, we would have won if... we don't talk about it. It's fine. We don't talk about it. Everyone's favorite bomb planner. For the question... The question of somebody said, do you regret anything? Any of the plays? That would probably be the only one. If I was someone who regret things, that would probably be the only thing. Being able to realize that, like, why the fuck do I have the bomb? That was such a stupid... That's just like an anomaly that happened. The fact that I didn't realize that I'm the one planning always. And the fact that nobody else also said a word. It's just crazy. We were so focused that we forgot the littlest thing. I think it was tunnel vision and nerves. We had a common problem of not doing what we normally do for the first 5 rounds. And then we're down like 1-5 or 1-6 or some shit. And we're like, guys, what the fuck are we doing? I feel like you were outgunned a lot while playing. No, not really. The only thing that I felt like was I played a little too reserved. Because, like, I didn't want to die. Obviously. What I love about this game, though, is there's so much to try and there's so much to change, you know, with your comp. Like one agent change can change.
One nerf changes the meta.
Yeah, it's so cool, man. I think it's cool. So am I still on the team or... Everyone keeps asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. I actually don't.
I just say no comment to everything.
I technically don't think I am. I was only here for a month. It's been a month. No, I think no comment's the best answer because I don't think anyone really knows what's happening. Because, like, regardless, Sentinels is not playing until. I mean, who knows? I don't know. It could be next year, I guess. Like, I have no idea. Jordan, what do you feel about like the smaller tourneys in between?
Like NSGs in those?
Mm-hmm. You think they're worth playing?
I think it was worth playing before. Now I don't know if it'll... I mean, if the orgs want you to play, then you could play. But for like franchising and stuff, I don't know if it'd be worth now. Because like before, it would be like, okay, if, like let's say we played in like one of those NSGs before LCQ, we probably would have like ironed out the mistakes that had us lose.
Yeah, I feel like the meta's not very exciting with the controllers.
Yeah, everyone needed the Astra meta.
Yeah, I don't know. I actually really like the guard. I like the guard's comp on this map. He can't jump up.
He said, "Fuck it."
Like, I think just like for example, Breeze, Viper. That's it. Viper. Lame. The fact that it's just one character. That's your only controller. That's the only one that's gonna work. It's the only one that's played.
Yeah, I mean, Gen G tried
like
Brim
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't work. It worked until it didn't work.
My point is that like I feel like we just need another wall type controller.
Yeah, like
So,
a flexible controller.
Yeah, like I don't know, something different. Well, they all have equal control of the game. I feel like all characters do, but I feel like controllers matter a lot with like the flow and how you're gonna play.
Pace of the game.
Yeah, it's so crazy to just take fights as Chamber that you should never take, but you just take them because you're Chamber.
You can take literally any fight.
Any fight you want, any single. Like think about that for a second. It's so fucked up. Why could you take any fight as Chamber? Because you could just leave. You literally could take any single duel and get away for free. Chamber is like crazy. The Chamber meta is just insane. Like absolutely insane. And unfortunately, I don't know if the Chamber nerf was enough. But it'll help a little bit, I guess.
Look how hard it is to be main without the other wall. So hard. They used a dart, knife, drone, and they got nowhere.
Looking like us out there. Sorry.
The old us.
Sorry.
Hey, we got the hang of it at the end. That's all I'll
It
say.
worked out. It clicked, man. It clicked eventually.
We just kept having Shroud plant the bomb.
Rod has nightmares.
Dude, I'll never forget that, man. Fuck me. We'd still be here. Or there, I guess. What do you think if Chamber's TP was like Jet's Dash, where you put your little pylons down, and then you click the button again, and they're glowing for like 5 or 6 seconds, and that's your window to like do what you got to do, and then TP out.
They need to nerf his ult and his sheriff.
You think the ult and the sheriff's the problem?
They didn't nerf the fire rate. They didn't like
the pull out. Like I'm tired of
out.
seeing tired of seeing a Chamber using op and pull out his sheriff in 0.01 seconds.
So you don't even think the TP is the problem? You think his pew pew is the problem? That's a crazy idea. Why don't they just make the ult just an op? Why does it have to be like a super op? It could just be a normal op.
A lot of people ask that question too.
Right?
No comment from them.
Because like that would be fine. Because then it's literally a super op. The thing's insane. Just make it a normal op and it would help. Yeah,
he's in a big spot.
Oh.
No, why run through?
Bro, it's actually not that. Sound crazy, but it's not that easy playing in a Viper ult as Viper. I don't know why. Like, you'd think it's like easy as fuck, but for some reason it's kind of hard.
I think it's just because you're so worried about your ult and you're trying to think of like every angle.
Yeah, like because like they could come in from any single spot and you'll never know. So like you can't watch the whole ult. You can only watch part of it, and then like they could sneak in from the back, and you have to like I don't know. It's terrifying. It's almost like the Viper in there is the one that's like getting like fucking hunted. They're terrified in their own ult. It's weird. It's a weird like dynamic. Will you continue practicing or on break? Break. I think right now there's a break for a lot of players. Even when we were practicing, like this month that we were practicing, it was actually pretty hard to get actual practice in because most people are on break. Because like, think about it. The people that there really isn't anybody playing anymore because if you're not in the LCQ, you're not practicing. If you are in the LCQ, you're not practicing against other people in the LCQ. Yeah, nobody plays for just such a long time that there's actually no good practice. Practicing again in scrims and all that, it feels the exact same. If, years ago in Counter-Strike. Exact same as in good or bad. A little bit of both. I think the NA scene still does not know how to practice. I've always admired how EU practices. And not all of EU practice as well, but a majority of them do. What's the difference between EU practice and NA practice? In Counter-Strike, when we boot camped in Europe, it was way more beneficial because like they showed up on time and they never really tilted. They were just professional. Yeah, EU practice, whenever we boot camped in Counter-Strike, whenever we boot camped in EU, it just felt more professional than it did in NA. And I don't know what EU is in Valorant, but I'm assuming it's probably the same. I'm assuming it's probably more professional than NA. But that's just because like, bro, we're just a bunch of fucking, we're just, I don't know what's wrong with us, dude. You know how we boot camped in NA, and you obviously play in NA all the time. Did it feel different practicing in EU against EU teams?
EU teams, it just seems like they're more like together, whereas NA we just kind of run at you.
Okay. Yeah.
Like it's more like utility / like togetherness, whereas like NA is just kind of like you have like 1 or 2 guys just kind of like running at you.
Yeah. So like it just seems like EU is more on the same page and NA is not, kind of.
Yeah. Like I think if NA could like play like EU, I think that's why Optic is so good. Or like, I know you brought up guard and stuff like that. I think that's why these other teams are so good because they kind of like play like EU, like they play together. But
Yeah.
I think NA players are more skilled.
Yeah, that's always been the problem, dude. NA players have always been so much better, but they're never on the same fucking page. How do we get that? How do we get that? How do we do that?
I don't know. Work harder, drop egos. I feel like the NA narrative is like egos / like personalities. Like people care if you hate each other or not. It's like kindergarten shit.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah, no, that's
mean,
right. That's right. Back when I was on C9, I kept telling them, G303, baby, we need a new one. This is what the mouse is going to come in, right here. I made it a little bit bigger. I did. I made it a little bit longer. I made it a little bit wider. The edges aren't as aggressive as they once were. We upped that butt up a little bit. Best of all, it's wireless, baby. It's wireless. Cable, dongle, mouse. There's a sticker. You guys like stickers?